right, and we are here this morning for an adjudication in this matter, and it's my understanding, Ms. Rathburn, that your client intends to enter a plea to the allegations of the amended petition. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. And I will note for the record, she is sitting right here next to me, but she's hesitant to have her face on screen for Mr. Young to see her.
All right.
They have a past history that makes her feel fearful for her current, how she looks right now to be known
Okay.
to. So,
Okay. All right. Does anybody have an objection to her staying off screen? Ms. Clifton?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And Ms. Desire, would you raise your right hand?
she's raising her right hand.
And would you state your name for the record, please, nice and loud?
Erica Desire.
And would you spell your name for the record?
First name is spelled Erika. Last name is Desire.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And are the parties willing to waive the reading of the petition?
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and to be clear, we are, the prosecutor did file an amended petition on April 29th, is that correct?
Yes,
Yes,
Your
Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Gaston, do you believe that the proposed pleas are in the best, or plea is in the best interest of your clients?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Desire, do you understand the petition?
Yes.
Okay. If you in fact enter a plea to these allegations today, you'll be giving up a number of rights. The first is the right to a trial by a judge or a jury, the right to require that the prosecutor prove the allegations by a preponderance or a majority of the evidence, the right to question the prosecutor's witnesses in person in court under oath, and the right to have the court order that any witnesses you believe could be helpful to you come to court in person to testify. Do you have any questions about any of these rights?
No.
Do you understand the rights that you'll be losing or giving up if you enter a plea today?
Yes.
Okay, you hesitated. If you have questions, it's okay. We can take a break for you to talk to your attorney, or if you want clarification from me, we can do that as well.
You need a minute to talk to me? She does. How about
Okay.
I put us on mute?
All right.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right.
After discussing it with Ms. Desire, she wanted clarification that giving up her rights to a trial does not mean that we are taking away her rights to her children. That's when she heard rights and she was hesitant that way, so.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you the questions again, Ms. Desire. Do you have any questions about the legal rights in terms of process that I just told you about?
What do you have questions about? This is your rights to the trial, not versus rights to your children.
No.
Do you need me to go over them again?
No.
You're sure?
Yes.
Okay. And do you understand those rights?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there'll be a number of consequences that may flow from your plea today. They won't necessarily happen. Some of them will, but most of them won't. But I have to tell you all of the possibilities. The first is that your children will be made temporary wards of the court. And that means that the court has broad discretion regarding where they're placed, which can be in foster care with you, with a relative, or in a suitable institution. You will be required to comply with a treatment plan to show that you're able to provide a safe and appropriate home for your children. You may also be required to pay for some of the costs of this case, including your attorney's fees, costs of care if children are placed outside of the home, counseling costs, etc. And now we all hope that this next thing will not happen, and it's certainly not happening today. But I'm required again to tell you about all the possible future consequences of your plea. If you can't show that you can provide a safe and appropriate home for your children within a reasonable amount of time, given the circumstances of the case and your progress, there may be a future request to terminate your parental rights, and your plea today may be used as evidence in that proceeding. If in the future your rights to your children are terminated, That will mean that you will have no input as to your children's medical treatment, education, discipline, or residence. You will also have no right to parenting time with your children and no right to inherit from them or receive your earnings. If you have a child support obligation, it will continue until a court of competent jurisdiction modifies or terminates it, an order of adoption is entered, or the child is emancipated by operation of law. Again, I'm just telling you all the possibilities, and none of that is going to happen today or anytime in the near future. Do you understand all of these possible consequences?
Yes, I do, Judge. And I just wanted to let you know, I have been putting things in motion already, making a better living for my children.
Okay,
Um,
that's fine. I don't want you to, this is just a time for me to tell you your rights.
Yes, okay,
So I'm going to hear all about that a little bit later, okay?
okay,
But yes, that is my understanding, is that you're on track for reunification and reification quickly. So I understand all of that. Again, I just have to tell you all the possibilities.
understand.
If things were to turn, not go well. All right. Do you have any questions regarding those possible consequences of today's plea if you choose to admit the allegations in the petition?
No, I do not.
Okay. And have you reviewed the amended petition and the plea agreement with your attorney?
Yes, I have.
Do you need to speak with her again before we go any further?
No, I do not.
Okay. At this point, I'm going to go through line by line the petition and ask you whether you admit or deny. Okay. So paragraph A reads, Ms. Erica Desire is the legal mother of Kamori Desire and Gabrielle Desire. Do you admit
Agreed.
or deny?
Admit.
Paragraph B reads, Mr. Patrick Young Sr. is the legal father of Kamori and Gabrielle Desire via a final order and judgment of paternity and support out of the state of Florida, case number 5614 DR 1315. Patrick Young Sr. has not come forward to provide any care, custody, financial, or emotional support for the children. Additionally, Mr. Young has done nothing to rectify the conditions that exist in the home, which caused this case to come before the court. Do you admit or deny?
Admit.
Paragraph C reads, on February 23rd, 2025, Ms. Desire had a mental health crisis. She contacted emergency services. Emergency services reports that Ms. Desire made suicidal and homicidal statements regarding herself and her children. Ms. Desire has no recollection of the statements, but was later hospitalized that day to address her mental health concerns.
Admit.
Paragraph D, on February 23rd, 2025, Children's Protective Services spoke with Ms. Erica Desire. She denied that she has any family members or friends in Michigan to take custody of the children.
Admit.
Thank you. Has anybody made any promises to you or threatened you in any way in order to encourage you to admit these allegations?
No.
Are the admissions that you just made of your own free will?
Yes.
Has anyone told you that you would get better treatment or easier treatment from the court if you admitted these allegations?
No.
All right, I am satisfied that there's a factual basis to accept Ms. Desire's plea, that she has been fully advised of her rights and is freely, understandingly, and voluntarily entering into this plea regarding the allegations of the amended petition. I further find by a preponderance of the evidence that one or more of the statutory grounds alleged in the petition are true, and that Erica Desire is a respondent in this matter. And Ms. Clifton, would you and your adjudicated witnesses like to be excused?
Yes, Your Honor, I think typically I'd stick for a rapid reunification case, but we're super backed up this morning.
Okay.
And I have faith in Miss Gaston. And so, yes, if me and Miss Lenz could be excused, that would be great.
Okay. Does anybody have an objection?
No objection.
No objection.
No objection.
All right. Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
And Ms. Gaston, are you prepared to go on to disposition at this time?
I believe so, Your Honor. I would call Ayana Collins Briseno, if that's how I say it.
All right. Ms. Collins Briseno, would you raise your right hand? Would you state your name and spell it for the record, please?
Ayana Collins Briseno, AYANA-COLLINS-BRISENO.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Thank you.
Ms. Collins Briseno, are you the foster care specialist assigned to the KD and GD matter before us today?
yes, I am.
And with whom are you employed?
Catholic Charities, West Michigan.
As a part of your duties, did you have an opportunity to review the original CPS investigation report with a complaint date of 2/23/2025?
I do not recall.
All right. Did you prepare a parent agency treatment plan and initial case service plan with a report date of 3/20/2025?
Yes,
I'd ask that that be admitted as Exhibit 1, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right.
Ms. McClure, you're muted.
Sorry, no objection.
Thank you.
Would you like me to just run through them all, Your Honor? And
That would be fine.
okay. All right. Did you also have an opportunity to receive forensic fluid test results for Miss Desire? Collection dates from 3/6/25 to 4/8/25 for a total of 5 tests.
yes,
I'd ask that that be marked as Exhibit 2. Did you also review and receive a Michigan Parenting Resource Certificate of Completion for Miss Desire from an internet parenting class dated 3/23/25?
yes,
I'd ask that that be marked as Exhibit 3. Did Miss Desire also complete a trauma toolbox class and receive a certificate of completion for that one as well with the date of 3/23/25?
yes,
I'd ask that that be marked as Exhibit 4. Did you have an opportunity to review the Pine Rest Psychosocial Evaluation and Progress Notes for Miss Desire?
yes,
I'd ask that that be marked as Exhibit 5. And did you have an opportunity to review her Forest View patient summary?
yes,
I'd ask that that be marked as Exhibit 6. And that's the totality, so I would ask for the admission of all 6 of those exhibits, Your Honor.
All right. Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right. They're all marked and admitted as presented.
All right. Ms. Collins Briseno, can you tell us what led to the court becoming involved in this matter regarding KD and GD?
Miss Desire had a mental health crisis in which she had suicidal and homicidal ideations involving herself and her children were left without proper care and custody.
And is it your understanding that she herself, Miss Desire, actually sought help?
Yes,
And unfortunately, there was no one to take care of the children that were family members here locally, and therefore they were taken into child protective custody. Is that correct?
correct.
All right. So in seeking help, was Ms. Desire first lodged at Forest View?
Yes, she was.
All right. And for how long was she there?
She was there from, excuse me, let me check my notes. 2/23/2025 to 3/3/2025.
And is it your understanding that there is a diagnosis of anxiety and possible PTSD?
Yes, as well as major depressive disorder.
All right. And has Ms. Desire got a treatment plan as a result of her stay there?
Yes, she has.
And what is that treatment plan?
Attending therapy, which she has been attending through Pine Rest, and taking medications as prescribed. And she also has a safety plan with emergency hotlines to call.
All right. And with regard to the medications that she's prescribed, during your forensic fluids testing, have you been able to determine whether or not she's actually taking those medications?
Yes, on all tests that we tested for Prozac and Seroquel, she was positive.
And not positive for any illegal substances. Is that also correct?
Correct.
All right. With regards to the onset of this situation, from your review of the documents from the therapy progress notes, does it appear that Ms. Desire has been struggling with mental health for some time?
Yes, it does.
And therefore, she made an admission that she had stopped taking her meds and stopped going to therapy, leading to this situation. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And so, what are you doing to ensure that she understands that she must be on this medication and following a treatment plan, essentially, until and unless her mental health issues are completely resolved?
I've had continued conversations with Ms. Desire that as part of her treatment plan, she is to attend therapy and take her medication as prescribed. I have received the reports from her therapist and will continue to ensure that she's attending, and we will continue to test her for her medications.
Okay. Normally, I would start off with the children, so I'm going to transition to the children at this time. Where are KD and GD placed? And I don't mean a physical address, I just mean the type of housing that they are in.
They're placed in a licensed foster home.
And are they comfortable in that home?
Yes, they've adjusted very well.
They share a room in that home, is that correct?
Yes,
And both attend the same school that they did attend prior to them coming into care. Is that correct as well?
correct. Yes.
All right. Speaking of their needs, did you arrange for them to begin therapy?
Yes, they started therapy on April 23rd, and they will be receiving weekly therapy, trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy.
And so that was just last week, correct?
Correct.
And is that at Wedgwood?
Yes.
Have you had any feedback from the therapist or from the children as to whether or not that's a good connection?
I haven't been able to speak to the therapist yet, but from the foster parents, from the therapist, they stated that KD was lying and not coming to terms with the situation, and the therapist had concerns of her eating her feelings, and that GD has had depression symptoms since she was 9 years old.
So it appears that they do need therapy, and that this therapist has elicited some pretty important information. Is that true?
Yes, and from their initial assessments as well, they both qualified for therapy, and from their trauma screenings as well, they both ranked with enough trauma to qualify for therapy.
All right. Are there any other mental health services that you feel are appropriate to provide for them at this time?
No.
Right. With regard to school, let's see. KD, I believe, is in the 8th grade. Is that true?
Yes.
And how is she doing at school?
She's had low grades and some missing assignments, but she's been working with the foster parents to get her missing assignments in, and her grades have been getting better.
So when she entered care, was she behind in assignments?
Yes.
All right. But the foster parents have been working with her, and is she now up to speed, or does she still have old assignments that are due?
I believe she's mostly up to speed.
All right. Were her poor grades consistent historically, or was that something new?
They were similarly season Bs in the prior semester as well.
All right. Does she have an IEP?
No.
Are there any special services that the school is providing to her?
No.
Is there a need for tutors or anything of that nature, or was it simply a lack of, doing the work?
I think it was a lack of doing the work and maybe not asking for help when she needed it.
All right. let's talk about GD. GD is in the 6th grade, is that right?
Yes,
And she does have an IEP, is that correct?
yes.
And what are the components of her IEP?
I do not recall the exact components. I know that she has struggles paying attention and completing her work as necessary.
And is it true that the school reached out and they have got a team together to help work on her over exuberance in class there? Is that correct?
Yes,
All right. And she too was behind, correct?
yes,
But again, the foster family has been proactive and helped her catch up her assignments. True?
yes, correct.
KD, I believe, saw an orthodontist, and it appears that she has some needs in that area. What are those?
So she has tongue issues and a lip tie. So a referral
I'm sorry
was
to
made-
interrupt. Are we talking about, are we back to KD? Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
all right. I thought we'd switched back. I just want to make sure. Thank you.
So a referral was made for myofunctional therapy for her tongue habits and her low tongue posture. And she was referred for a release of a lip tie to a pediatric dentist because she needs these tongue issues addressed before they can initiate orthodontics.
All right. And have you investigated whether or not Ms. Desire's insurance or WMPC or someone will pick up the bills on that end?
I have not yet.
All right. Medically, both girls, are they up to date on immunizations?
Yes, they had a well child on 3/6/2025.
And were there any physical concerns noted for either of them?
No,
All right. And with regard to dental issues, have they both seen a dentist at this point in time?
not since they've entered care. Their dental is due 5/23/25.
And is that something that you're arranging?
Yes, our health schedule will schedule a dental appointment.
And with regard to their medical and dental appointments, Ms. Desire has been attending the bulk of those. Is that correct?
Ms. Desire attended their medical and their blood work appointment. Ms. Desire was invited to their orthodontist appointment and did not attend.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Is there anything else that you feel that the court needs to be advised with regard to KD and GD?
I do think it's important to note that they were having supervised phone calls twice weekly. And because of behavior surrounding these phone calls, for example, shutting down and not talking for an hour after the phone calls, and GD crying during the phone calls, these phone calls were changed to one time daily.
All right. And how have the girls reacted to that?
They've reacted better and they've had less reactions to the phone calls. GD was having some flashbacks to the night that they were removed surrounding these phone calls, and they weren't having time to do their homework and get things done and have time to themselves with 2 phone calls a night. So they've been doing better with the 1 call a day.
All right. Thank you. All right. Now, returning to Ms. Desire, what barriers have you determined to be in place for her to address prior to reunification?
Emotional stability is a barrier. She was diagnosed with recurrent major depressive disorder, in partial remission, generalized anxiety disorder, and PTSD as of 4/23/25. Her treatment plan progress at Pine Rest was marked as moderate improvement. Ms. Desire spoke of her lesson learned of not taking kids for granted and stated that she sees now that she put too much on them and she wants to make sure she gives them a life that lets them go back to being children. She stated that on 4/17. She has a history of trauma, and she also believed she was being harassed by her neighbor before the children were removed. And now she is attending therapy through Pine Rest and psychiatry services as well. And then
Right.
another barrier is child characteristics. Ms. Desire stated that she did not see a need for therapy services for KD and GD, and stated that they talk to her, so she does not see why they need to talk to others about their emotions. I stress that the importance of KD and GD attending therapy after they are returned to her care, and Ms. Desire then asked me to change her statement to Ms. Desire is not denying having the kid see a therapist. She just needs to discuss it with her lawyer. This was on 4/22/25. I also received a screenshot on 3/11 of text between KD and Ms. Desire of Ms. Desire asking KD for money. Ms. Desire initially was calling GD and KD during school and then asking why they did not answer and was calling the girls all the time. This was the cause for the phone call schedule, for the daily schedule. Foster parents stated that Ms. Desire stated to GD that the phone calls were changed to once a day because of GD's crying. Ms. Desire continues to tell KD to be strong for her sister and to look out for GD. And Katie reported to me that she is stressed and struggling too, but feels like she needs to be strong for her sister because Ms. Desire tells her she needs to be. Ms. Desire was calling GD and Katie when she was not alone and not available to talk. For example, when she was volunteering for church or getting her nails done. And then her other barrier is parenting skills, which she has taken the online certification classes for and been referred to a parent nurturing class. It was supposed to be the class starting May 12th, but she asked to begin the class on June 30th, the next summer class.
All right, with regard to child characteristics, what referrals have you made or will you be making for her to get a handle on appropriate child development and characteristics?
The parent nurturing class, and then as well as therapy, and she's been referred to KRP.
And the parent nurturing class, is that the one that isn't going to begin until June 30th, or is that a different class?
That's the one that will be June 30th.
All right. Between now and June 30th, is there anything that she's involved in besides her own therapy that would help address this area?
Not that I know of. Hopefully KRP can work with her on some of those things.
All right. With regard to parenting skills, she has been attending her parenting time, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And is there a support partner there during parenting time, or what is the structure of the parenting time?
It's just me supervising the visits right now. They've been at the agency, and today, actually, they will be moved to the Casa House for a more family-friendly environment. So it's currently just the girls and Miss Desire and me supervising.
And are the girls bonded to Miss Desire?
Yes, they are.
And is it your understanding that they wish to be returned to her care quickly?
Yes. Yes.
All right. And are they aware of, what mental health sort of disaster struck their mother?
I do not think they're fully aware. I believe that it has been stated that they did not hear the homicidal and suicidal statements, and I do not think they are fully aware of the situation that occurred.
All right. Is that something that you will discuss with their therapist so that when the time is appropriate for them to be more in tune to what to look out for in case of a future problem, we would address that with them?
Yes.
All right. And parenting skills, you spoke of some texting. My understanding is that the present order was supervised or unsupervised parenting time, but you had designated it to be supervised. Is that correct?
Correct.
And during the alleged supervised parenting time, there were violations with regard to texting the girls without supervision. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. Have those errors been addressed with Ms. Desire?
Yes, they have, and she has not been texting them since.
All right. And overall, you do believe that she has made significant progress in addressing her mental health issues in this short period of time between removal and today's hearing. Is that right?
I do believe so. And there are other strengths as well that I do have now some concerns about since I wrote my report. Domestic relations, communication, and interpersonal skills, and housing.
And during this next report period, will you be working with her on those areas?
Yes.
So housing, you mentioned, is that, did she lose her housing over the stay in the hospital, or has she desired to move because of the alleged interference of the neighbor?
She plans to move in June. She currently does have housing, and she did provide me with proof of housing. However, it is a concern that she moves often, and KD reported to me that the family had moved multiple times in the past. And Mr. Young stated that Ms. Desire has run from her problems and moved before when issues arise. And Ms. Desire had stated originally to me that she was planning to move to Florida before her children were removed, and she planned to move to Florida after they were returned to her care. I don't know if that is still her plan, but we just have concerns about them moving to Florida and continuing with their services, with our services, excuse me. And we want to make sure that those services continue wherever they go.
Right, she is employed, correct?
Yes, she is employed, and she provided me with proof of employment.
All right, and with regard to domestic relations, at the moment, she's not involved with anyone, but are you referring to Mr. Young?
Yes, both Mr. Young and Ms. Desire have reported a history of domestic violence, and Mr. Young reported to me that he went to prison for not letting them take Ms. Desire to jail, and he stated that she was beating on him and holding a knife to him, and then he took the girls. Sorry, she took the girls.
Okay, and so you'll be referring her where, to the Y or somewhere like that to work on those
Yes,
relationships?
we'll be discussing these issues with Ms. Desire and assessing if this is an issue that needs to be further assessed.
All right, thank you. All right, let's briefly talk about Mr. Young. He has been determined to be legal father, is that correct?
Yes,
And are you working with him in any way to address reunification or a relationship with his children?
Mr. Young has been writing me letters for KD and GD through email, and I've been sending those to the girls. And I also gave him the sizes for their shoes and clothing as he requested to send them some items. And I've been in some communication with him about the case, and I know that he does want to get visitation time with the girls. The girls currently have stated to me that they don't want to see him, but they are getting to the point where they would like to write him back at least. So he's just trying to build a relationship with them and allow them to get to know him.
And you would agree that that's appropriate, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What are your recommendations for today?
It is respectfully recommended that KD and GD remain temporary court wards and placed in a licensed foster home with an approved relative or with their mother, Miss Erica Desire. That visits with Ms. Desire and Mr. Young will be supervised or unsupervised at the agency's discretion, that Ms. Desire comply with and benefit from her parent agency treatment plan, and that a review hearing be scheduled as required.
Thank you.
Ms. Rathburn.
Thank you, Your Honor. Here, let me get a minute to get my notes together. All right, well, let me work backwards since that's most fresh in my mind. Why would we offer Mr. Young unsupervised visits when he hasn't seen the girls since 2014?
We are recommending unsupervised or supervised visits at the agency's discretion.
Let me just interject so that we can cut to the chase here. He is not a respondent. This court has no jurisdiction over him, and any parenting time would be governed by the Florida order.
Okay, very good, Your Honor. Well, then I'll work from that. Now, also, I just was concerned that you took information from Mr. Young from 2014 regarding actions of my client. Have you had an opportunity to discuss with her what he said about her actions?
No, I said that this is new information and it's not in the current report. So these are things that we would discuss with both Ms. Desire and Mr. Young further and find proof if these are true statements.
Okay, do you have an understanding that the Florida paperwork indicates that he's not to have any contact with the girls?
I have an understanding that there was a no contact order, but it has expired.
Okay, do you have an understanding from the Florida courts why he has a no contact order?
I do not.
Okay, is that something that you should probably look into before you talk about this with Ms. Desire as well?
I can.
Okay. Let's move forward then. Housing. So you're saying housing is now a concern because she quote unquote moves often, and that's based again on information from Mr. Young. What about her current home? Is it satisfactory for the girls to be returned to?
I have not visited her current home.
Oh, we've had these girls in care since February. Why haven't you been to see her home yet?
I have not had the chance.
Okay, is that something you can schedule right away?
Yes,
Okay, very good. And talking with Miss Desire about moving to Florida, you're aware she's originally from Florida, correct?
yes,
And does she have relatives and other support people in Florida that she could still, I mean, that she could use if she was living close to them?
yes,
And so do you understand that part of her evaluation of whether or not she would move to Florida was feeling somewhat unsure about this whole court case and things like that and not having supports here? Are you aware that she has since engaged with her church and she's gained supports through her church?
yes.
Okay. And if she's moving to a different house, have you talked with her about where this house is or what it might look like?
No, she gave me some information that it's in June and that she was getting things together for it, but since it's in June, I have not acquired the information about this housing yet.
Okay. Do you know that she's actually been talking with KRP about this move and they're helping her to make this happen?
Yes,
Okay. Let's talk about, she also has had a job I mean, pretty much she was able to resume her job once she was out of the hospital. Is that correct?
yes,
Is she able to pay her bills?
yes,
You've done a budget with her and you're satisfied that she can pay the bills?
yes.
Okay. Now this thing with her asking money for the girls, did you ask her about what that was about?
On a family team meeting, I did address it and she denied that she asked the girls for money.
Okay. Now, maybe you could talk to her more about this, but she explained to me that the girls have an app on their phone, that relatives or people will send them money and that she needs to access the account to exchange the money with them. You didn't have the understanding that these girls somehow have a lot of money in their account from what? From working or from relatives and that she's trying to steal their money from them?
The girls receive a budget from a family member in Florida, an allowance,
Okay.
and I believe that is the money that's in Cash App.
Now, is that allowance so used to pay their phones and things like that?
I do not know.
Ah, okay. Maybe that's something else that we can explore, because if in fact this money from the relatives is used to pay their phone bill, they don't directly pay their phone bill. I would assume it'd be their mother. So maybe there would be some explanation behind this situation that you can further explore at the next.
As far as I know, the allowance is for spending money from what the girls have told me.
Okay, but again, you haven't really discussed it with Miss Desire directly since the family team meeting?
No.
Okay, all right. Talking about communication skills, why is that becoming an issue at this time?
Excuse me, let me refer to my notes. Ms. Desire has been resistant and non-compliant with some of my requests. She first did not follow the set schedule for phone calls and texted KD to not tell the foster parents that she was texting with them. Ms. Desire refused to sign the parent agency treatment plan until she discussed it with her attorney on 4/22. Ms. Desire initially told the parent nurturing class worker to call her attorney before she would agree to take the parenting class, then called back and agreed, but asked to take it in the summer. Ms. Desire has been informed that she should be in private and available to speak for phone calls with KD and GD, and has continued to take these calls when she is not in private and not fully available to speak.
Well, let me back this up. This is going to be a communication issue for her to actually pull me in and actually talk to me about legal issues. I don't know how the agency can turn that into a communication issue. What's your understanding that people talking to their attorneys and asking questions before they sign things?
That is not what I'm stating. I'm stating that she has refused to sign the parent agency treatment plan, and since she has not come back to me and said that she's spoken with her attorney and she's ready to sign it. And in terms of the parenting class, I tried to give her a call about the parenting class and discuss what her concerns were, as well as with the parent agency treatment plan. I wanted to discuss with her what the concerns were, and she would not tell me.
Okay, well, part of this could be on me, is that she's waiting to talk to me about these things. I didn't have an expectation, and I did email you. Is there a deadline that she needs to sign the parent agency agreement? And you didn't give me that idea that if she didn't sign it before today's hearing, it would then turn up into a concern. correct? You didn't let me
What
know.
email are you referring to? What did you say?
I emailed you about the parent agency agreement last week and inquired of you, about, what the parenting class was entailing, and I think was there, because it wasn't actually in the parent agency agreement, about the parenting class. And I asked whether or not you were gonna amend the parent agency treatment plan to have the class as an expectation, so that when she was signing it, that would be the signed expectation. And you said you weren't changing the parent agency agreement, it was what it was, correct?
Yes, that's correct. You told me that Ms. Desire had told you that I amended the parent agency treatment plan and you asked for the newest version, and I informed you that I had not amended the parent agency treatment plan. And in the parenting skills section of the parent agency treatment plan, it states that Ms. Desire will be referred to a parenting class.
All right, well, let's talk about that. Do you recall the date that we had the FTM?
I do not recall.
Okay. I'm gonna dig through. Felt like we had an FTM in March. Would that sound about right?
Yeah,
Okay. And in March at that FTM, Miss Desire was asking, what can I do to get, feet on the ground and get going? And you informed her, well, you could take this parent nurturing class that's offered in May. Correct?
I don't know if I gave a date or if it was the parent nurturing class. I believe it may have been a different one, a trauma-informed class.
Okay, yeah, here is my IFTM paperwork. So we had a family team meeting on March 11th of 2025, correct?
Yes.
Okay, on March 11th of 2025, I'm looking at this, it said that there was a parenting class, but it wouldn't be able to be open for her right here. Will be referred to a parenting class, trauma-informed parenting. Caseworker will refer to Wedgwood classes. Next class begins 4/16 through 5/21 on Thursdays in person. Was that class actually available for her to take?
I do not know.
Okay, then the caseworker will also look into parenting classes through MSU Extension, sessions-based weekly, self-based. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay, now immediately after the FTM, I asked what classes through the MSU Extension would the agency want her to take? And did you ever give me direction on what specific classes she needed to take?
No, I did not.
Okay, and so the certificates that we have that I appreciate that you've attached for today's hearing, those are actually classes that my client went through the extension list of classes and felt that they would be helpful for her to take, and she completed those classes. Will those classes be, acceptable through the agency as contributing to helping her on her treatment plan?
Yes, those are considered a contribution to her need of parenting skills. And we also would like her to still take another parenting class.
Okay, and that other parenting class, I feel like I just got that maybe last week or 2 weeks ago.
Is that a question?
Yes, do you recall when you told me about the other class she could take?
I do not recall the exact date, but I believe it was probably about 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
Okay. All right. Now this current parent nurturing class, what is the theme of that class? What is that going to go over with her?
Goals of parenting and basic needs of how to parent, forms of discipline that are not physical discipline, emotional and physical needs of children.
Okay. Wasn't the trauma-informed class a better fit for these girls who have trauma symptoms, and for girls that didn't come into care for neglect? It wasn't like they never went to a dentist or a doctor, correct?
Did they never go to a dentist or a doctor?
Yes.
No, that's not true.
Okay. So I guess I'll rephrase this. Wouldn't a trauma-informed parenting class be a better fit for this circumstance versus a basic parenting course about basic needs for children?
I believe that this parenting class will still be a benefit for Ms. Desire.
Okay. Now you indicated that Ms. Desire was not refusing to take this course. Were you aware that the time of the class would be directly during the time that she's supposed to be working?
I did not state that she was refusing to take it. I stated that she asked to take it in the summer instead. And
Okay.
I do know that she works, so I did let the parent nurturing worker know that she does work, and that is probably why she wants to take it in the summer.
Okay, all right. Let me make sure that I'm getting through everything here. Sorry about this. So. And the parenting time with her and the girls, I mean, they seem loving and bonding throughout the parenting time.
Yes.
Okay, and is there any signs during the observations of the supervised parenting time that she puts these girls at any risk of harm?
No.
Okay. And you did testify, and this is something I want to emphasize. There is no documentation from anyone from CPS or from the girls themselves that they actually heard what Miss Desire was saying during her 911 call for help.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And the trauma from the girls, would you attribute a large part of that from being separated from their mother for the first time ever?
That's a part of the trauma, but they also have trauma from being in her care.
What kind of trauma for being in her care?
Multiple moves. She has mental health issues, and that is not only they could see that, but it's also hereditary. And whatever domestic violence history there is, I don't know the involvement. I know that we completed a trauma screen, and I cannot recall the exact boxes that were checked, but they did have significant trauma.
Okay. Is it your understanding that during some of the visits, Miss Desire will work on homework with the girls?
Not at any visits that I've seen.
Okay. Is that something she could be doing over the phone when she has phone calls with them?
Yes.
Okay. You have all the releases you need for Miss Desire at this point, so you're in full communication with all of her care providers?
Yes.
In regards to the girls in counseling, she did in fact agree to them in counseling after she discussed it further with you. Is that how that worked out?
No. She said that she would need to speak with her attorney, and then
Okay.
she would see if she would agree to it.
And I guess you indicated it when there was her doing more of the calls, before that was corrected, that she was calling quote unquote when the girls were in church activities or getting their nails done. I mean,
No.
was she provided a schedule of the girls?
This was not them getting their nails done or them being in church. This was Miss Desire was volunteering for church and getting her nails done while she was calling the girls. And so the girls were not able to fully talk with Miss Desire because she was busy.
Okay, I'm looking at my client who doesn't have her nails done, but maybe there's some miscommunication there. Well, I
This was
think,
a couple months ago. They could have gone
okay,
out.
all right. Well, I guess to summarize at this point, I feel that there's more services being offered to her when in fact we should be moving forward. Is it the agency's feeling that we're gonna keep creating more issues to delay reunification? Because I'd hate to think that that's the case.
We're not creating more issues. We are ensuring that Miss Desire's mental health is stable and that KD and GD both have stable mental health and will be continuing services when they are returned. We do not think that they should not be returned, but we just want to make sure that they will be mentally safe as well as Miss Desire will have stable mental health.
Okay, and when we do look at returning the children, there's still gonna be boards of the court, so it's not as if Miss Desire has, are you concerned that Miss Desire will just flee the minute the girls are replaced in her home?
Due to concerns of her fleeing from issues in the past that KD reported to me, yes.
Wow, okay, and this just came up, it has not been discussed with Miss Desire at this point.
It has not been discussed with her because I do not know her plan. She has not told me her plan. All I want to ensure is that if they were to move, services would continue.
Okay, so, all right, I have no other questions at this time. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. McClure.
Thank you. The letters that Mr. Young is writing through you for the children, those have been appropriate?
Yes.
Okay. And they at least are tolerant of receiving those and they're starting to think about wanting to write back. Is that correct?
Yes, they've told their foster parents that they would like to write back, but they just aren't quite ready yet.
Okay. And they just recently started working with a therapist, very, very recently. So maybe that's something that therapists can continue to discuss with them,
Yes.
correct? Okay. And basically at this point, he needs to continue to do that, send them items that they need. Hopefully they'll write back, and then maybe at some point there would be phone calls. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware that there is a child support order in place with Mr. Young being the payer of support?
Ms. Desire did inform me of this child support order, but I have not physically seen it.
So you're aware of it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Ms. Gaston,
No follow-up, Your Honor.
Ms. Rathburn, any follow-up?
Sorry, no, thank you. Just had to find my mute button.
All right. Ms. Gaston, any additional witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. Rathburn, any witnesses?
I would like to have my client testify just a short bit, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. You're still under oath from previous? Do you understand that, Ms. Desire?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Rathburn.
All right, thank you. Well, Ms. Desire, let's answer a few questions that were raised. For your proposed move in June, where are you moving? Where general location are you moving to?
It will still be in the same state as Michigan, exactly like 30 seconds from my job.
Okay, so still in the same area where you're at right now?
Yes.
Okay. And have you been discussing this move with KRP?
Yes, I have.
Okay, very good. And with this domestic violence allegations, well, let me back up. Do you feel that you flee and move the girls often?
No, I do not. If you can actually check their school records, my kids have had stable living where they've been into their schools for multiple of years, elementary, I'm sorry, from preschool to elementary, middle school.
It's been in the same school?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Are you open to taking the courses and the recommended parenting time classes that are being referred to by the agency?
Yes.
Okay, and you're willing to 100% cooperate with anything that KRP asks you to do?
Yes, I am.
All right. And do you feel that you've made significant progress since you were hospitalized?
Yes, I have.
How do you want to describe what you're doing to maintain your mental health?
I keep myself very productive. I'm also joined a church where I volunteer in the community. Even with my job at work, I work with the district. So I'm constantly keeping myself productive. I'm also seeing my therapist and my psychologist, taking my medicine as directed, as I've been drug tested and my medicine has been in my system. Also, I've been progressing with giving my kids better living.
Okay. Was there
Yes.
anything else from the testimony from Catholic Charities that you wanted to respond to?
I think it was kind of discussed so far.
All right, very good. Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gaston, any questions?
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Desire, you,
Yes.
do you recall indicating to your telemed clinician at the Zealand Clinic that you felt that your medications were causing an increase in your eating and that was concerning to you?
Yes.
And despite that, you're committed to maintaining your medication regimen,
Yes, I am.
right? Do you concede that there was a prior incident where at least the hospital notes indicated that you may have attempted suicide by car?
No, I have not.
You didn't discuss that there was misinformation in your chart where the chart indicated that had occurred?
I do not recollect that. That was not actually in my chart.
And you are aware that you were in therapy and you were on medication, but that stopping that is what led us to where we are today. Is that accurate?
That's correct. And I also have learned that I need my medicine. And I have been taking my medicine as I explained to the agency the importance that me taking my medicine is not only on myself, but my children as well. So each and every day I'm getting up and making sure that I'm doing what I need to do.
All right, and you will ensure that the children receive the recommended services from the agency, is that right?
That is correct.
And you intend to follow through with what's recommended for you?
Definitely.
All right, I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. McClure? Any questions?
Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you. Ms. Desire, when did you move to Michigan?
I moved here October of 2022.
Okay. And did you notify Mr. Young when you moved to Michigan with the children?
Mr. Young has no authority as to knowing where I moved to. He doesn't have legal, not legal rights, but he has also given up his rights with the children. So me discussing where I moved to, no.
Is there an order terminating his rights somewhere that I'm not aware of?
Due to his history with violence, the Department of Children and Family in Florida took his parental rights, which he can no longer be around the kids till they're 18 years old.
So you're saying that the final order and judgment of paternity and support out of St. Lucie County is not accurate?
Actually, I have not showed it to her, so I think that would have to be something that we have a foundation to show it to her.
And I'm just
Okay.
going to interject.
That's not true. That's not true.
Sir,
Now
sir,
that you
this
know-
is not time for you to speak. You have an attorney. That is not appropriate. You would not be allowed to do that in a physical courtroom, and you can't do it here. And I'm going to just interject and indicate Mr. Young is not a respondent in this matter. I've already indicated that whatever the Florida order is what governs, unless and until this court takes further action, and custody is not on the table here, and I'm not going to get into it.
Okay. I'm just following up on the statements that she testified just now about moving.
I understand, but I'm just saying we need to keep it limited.
Fair enough. All right. So just to clarify, you did not tell Mr. Young when you moved in October of 2022 to Michigan, correct?
No, I did not.
Okay. And where did you live before that move?
I lived in Port St. Lucie, Florida for 5 years.
Okay. All right. And how many different addresses have you had in Michigan since your move in October of 2022?
Just one.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gaston, any follow-up?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Rathburn, any follow-up?
No, thank you.
All right. Let's see, Ms. Rathburn, any further witnesses?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. McClure, any witnesses?
No, thank you.
All right. Statements, Ms. Gaston.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to meet with the girls on March 24th of 2025 at their foster home. They were a little reserved because it was a first meeting, but the home is appropriate for the girls. They seem to be getting adjusted there at that time. Both had indicated to me at that time a desire to at least hear from their father and begin potentially communicating with him. I do support the recommendations of the agency. I do realize that this case is rapid reunification, which I'm not real familiar with, but I understand we go in 2-month increments. I hope that the court gleaned from the testimony that there are some concerns here, and mainly it's mental health. And I think Ms. Desire is attacking that problem, but we don't want to move too quickly and jeopardize the safety of these children. So I support the recommendations in their entirety. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Rathburn.
Well, thank you, Your Honor. I think you can tell from the questions I was asking that I'm a bit disappointed in how we've been working together on this case. And I feel like I've kind of come unyoked from the agency at different times. Since we had that meeting on 3/11, my client was already out from the hospital and was ready to rearing to go. What do I need to do? What kind of things can I take? What classes can I take? And we were told, well, there's a parenting class. It's not going to be available until later. Maybe go through MSU extension, and they really didn't follow back up right away. So my client just went through and picked out classes and took them, which I'm glad that they're going to apply to this. But again, she was initially told to take a trauma-informed parenting class, and now we're looking at a parent nurturing class, which I don't think is necessary. I think the trauma-informed one would be a better fit for what we got going on here and the trauma the girls have been through. And I'm just concerned that we're going to throw her parenting classes for the sake of giving her something to do. And that's not necessarily a good use of resources for either my client or the agency. The other concern I have is that we have all these new concernings blooming up, and we've not had another family team meeting to even discuss, you know, what these concerns are, what they're looking at for addressing with my client. I do have a client that wants to talk to me. I'm her resource here. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I think it's fair enough for her to say, well, I'm not quite sure about this, and let me talk to my attorney. And then I feel like I don't always get really quick communication back, and I get that everyone's busy. But I don't want to just keep assigning new concerns here and slow this process down when the main concern that brought these girls in wasn't because they hadn't been to a doctor or a dentist or they're failing class and they don't attend. It's her mental health. And she was caught in a situation where she didn't have supports for them to go to. And so she does get pulled into this case. The girls are suffering from not being with their mother. This is their first time they've been separated from her. And my client understands the significance of what happened to her that day. I think she's very sad and in herself that this is how things happened. And you know, I think giving her the benefits of the resources we can through this case so that she has more depth, that when she is feeling more out of sorts with her mental health, she'll have a better, you know, resource index to go to. Oh, I can call this person, I can talk to this person, I can do this, which is what she's getting through Pine Rest. She's getting this through KRP. She's already indicated to me they've been a really great source of support for her. And so I just want to keep this moving forward. And I'm talking to my client, I'm telling her this is not an overnight process. The girls weren't going to come home to her today, right? But I don't want to be like, oh, 2 months later, we're still with supervised visits, because now we've got more concerns based on what Mr. Young said. And he hasn't been around since 2014. So I don't know why he should be directing what her parent agency plan looks like. And so I'd appreciate more communication. Having another FTM, I think right after this hearing would be really helpful for us to talk through these issues and maybe see what else we can figure out. And so I would ask the court to adopt the recommendations that we move forward for unsupervised parenting time with my client. I just got that order signed by the court that we can move that way, that we have a dual order in place to return to her home as soon as we all feel that the girls are safe. And you've heard her testimony. She's willing to do what it takes. She's not going to give up on this by any means, but I can agree with her. I've been a bit frustrated about how the services have been provided to her to date, and hopefully we can keep that moving forward in a better direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McClure.
Thank you. I won't take a position on the recommendation today. I do just want to note for the record that I did explore the online electronic records in St. Lucie County regarding these both parties, and there is no termination of rights or suspension of parenting time in the record for Mr. Young. There were two different cases for the girls. They were combined together into one case, and it clearly states that he is the father, but there is nothing in the online record, and they have pretty robust records. There's nothing reflecting a termination of parental rights or a suspension of parenting time in the records that I looked through. So I just wanted to state that for the record. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, the court finds that the lawyer guardian ad litem has complied with the requirements of the statute, that there is probable cause to believe that Patrick Young Sr. is the legal father of both of these children. that return of either one of these juveniles to a parent today would cause a substantial risk of harm to the juvenile or society. That consistent with the circumstances, reasonable efforts to prevent or eliminate the need for removal of the children from the home were made as determined by a prior order. But reasonable efforts shall continue to be made to preserve and reunify the family, make it possible for these children to safely return home. That custody of the children with the parent or guardian presents a substantial risk of harm to their life, physical health, or mental well-being. No provision of service or other arrangement except removal is reasonably available to safeguard them. That the conditions of custody and the placement away from the home and with the individual with whom the children are placed are adequate to safeguard them safeguard their health and welfare. The court orders that the children be made or are in the temporary custody of this court with placement with the Department of Health and Human Services. That the adjudicated respondents comply with and benefit from the case service plan. Parenting time of Ms. Desire is at the discretion of the agency to allow unsupervised or supervised parenting time. That the agency visit Ms. Desire's home immediately. This should have been done a long time ago, particularly in a rapid reunification case. That an FTM be scheduled as soon as possible and include both the prosecuting attorney's office, somebody from WMPC, as well as KRP. We are new in these rapid reunification cases, and I want everybody at that table to brainstorm and help with the path for this case, because that is just part of the issue with a brand new program like this. I think some of the bumps need to be worked out, and I think that the FTM is a really good place to do that. I'll continue the attorneys in this matter. Find that reasonable efforts have been made to finalize the court-approved permanency plan for both of these children, and we will have a review hearing on June 20th at 11 a.m. I'm not going to issue a dual order at this time, but the court rule does allow at any time for the agency to notify all parties that they intend to return the children home within 7 days, and if there's no objection, there's no court order needed. So I'd rather go with that. And certainly if this hearing needs to be moved up for whatever reason, just let my office know and we'll try to do that. All right, is there anything further?
No, thank you, Your Honor.